Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another podcast episode. You guys, my head is killing me right now. It's been a long time no see for me in the camera because when I recorded those last 3 videos, I did so well. I was very proud of myself because I recorded them all in one day. I got myself all the way through March, but one thing I was very disappointed in myself about was I did not keep up the consistency with recording 3 episodes a week after I did those 3 episodes. So I'm still recording in advance. There's no rush. I'm not rushing. I'm not doing this, right before the day that I'm posting it, the morning before I'm posting it. So that's good. But, I told myself I wanted to do 3 episodes a week to get myself very far ahead in the year. To record stuff and post stuff for you all because, I am going to be on maternity leave soon from my job. So I may be on maternity leave from you all. I don't know yet. As I give birth and try to get acclimated and everything. I am recording with my front camera for the first time. So if you are listening to this on the audio platforms, thank you so much for tuning in. But the quality is still good on the iPhone 15 front camera. I don't think I've recorded with the front camera and all my lights and everything like that. So very excited to see that this is, clear as can be, and when I edit, it'll be even more clear. But anyway, y'all see this little pimple patch if you're watching? Y'all, I picked a pimple, and I think there's another one right here. Like, I tried to pop it, and when I popped it, it left a scab. So I got me a little pimple patch on, and it's like a blemish, microfiber blemishing patch or whatever. So hopefully it doesn't leave like a dark mark on my face because I've been doing so well. But when I feel a scab or a pimple, I just have this urge that I have to pop it or burst it. Like, I don't know if there's anybody else like that. Tell me if it is, but honestly, like, that's how I am. Like, I cannot resist the urge to mess with it. So then it just continues to bleed, which is not good, y'all. Which is not good. I understand that. But also look at my little mama shirt. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Guys, I'm just so ecstatic to be a mom, to finally meet my baby girl. And like, by the time this comes out, in like less than 5 weeks, like by the time this comes out, I should be around 35 weeks or so. So I'm almost close to my due date, unless she decides to come early, which I really hope she don't, because at first I was like, oh, I don't want her to come on her due date because that's my parents' anniversary, their wedding anniversary, and my mom is just so ecstatic. I'm just like, I don't want her to be born on their anniversary day. Have your own day, have a different day. But I was like, you know what? Regardless if her birthday is Cinco de Mayo, May 5th or not, we're going to turn up every year and we're going to be out of the country. We're going to be doing something for my girl's birthday. We will not be doing birthday parties. No, we're doing a birthday cruise, a birthday flight, a birthday this, a birthday that. We will not be in the country on my girl's birthday. She won't be in the country when she's 6 months old. She will be out of the country already catching flights. Do you hear me? Like, I told somebody, I said, my baby girl is already spoiled. Like, as soon as she gets out the womb, maybe my mom talking about the very next day, I'm going to get her a passport. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. As soon as I feel up to it and feel like taking her to get her, picture taken and everything, she'll be getting her passport. But anyway, you guys, how are you all doing? How are you all feeling? How has this first quarter of 2026 treated you? You guys know I love to start off by asking you all how you're doing, and if there's anything that you feel like is off, what is it? If you don't know what it is right now, that's perfectly fine, but sit with yourself and try to understand why you are feeling the way you are feeling. Take mental note, take emotional note, so that way when you feel this way again, or you can kind of like tell maybe where it's stemming from and how to deal with your emotions in this type of state. So, I'm always trying to be emotionally in tuned, because there was a time where I was emotionally immature. And so that I feel like that kind of like that hindered a lot of decisions that I made. and, just choices that, or consequences that I had to face because of my emotional not insecurity, but emotional immaturity. So, just try to stay in tune with your emotions. And this, when I say stay in tune, it's not like, oh, I always know what's going on with me, because I never know 100% of the time what's going on with me when I don't feel right. But when I take the time to sit with myself and kind of like think about, okay, why am I feeling this way, or write it down or talk about it on the podcast, then when I go back to read or listen or watch, then I can kind of figure out, okay, this is probably where this is stemming from. So I encourage you all to do that. Mental health is big, emotional health is big, and I want you guys, as a part of my community and somebody that's listening to my podcast, whether it be for the first time or you're a returning listener, okay, to remember that. So yeah. And with that being said, if you're new here, thank you so much for taking the time to tune into my podcast and my platform as a whole. I hope you enjoy it here. There's 108 other episodes to go watch and listen. And yeah, hopefully you find a community here. Hopefully you become a returning listeners. And my returning listeners and OGs, thank you so much for coming back and sticking it through thick and thin with your girl. And we are going to jump right in here. I'm very appreciative of all of you all. Very grateful for all of you all, because the views are getting there. I really just have to promote more, but like I told you all before, really don't feel like I'm going to promote until I get my podcast area set up, and that's really taking a back seat to me, just because I'm nesting. So I'm trying to get prepared for dear Miss Kalia Renee, and that to me just takes priority over, getting new chairs that cost maybe over $300 to furnish, just for my podcast, for me to take a break just when she gets here. So that's going to be something that happens down the line. So there may not be some advertising for a while until that happens, because I tried to do like a portrait, like just taking a portrait video from the videos that I've already done, and I'm just too close. And I'm not going to sit all the way back there and talk to you guys. It's not going to happen. So, the ones that are rocking with me, y'all are rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. But yeah, until then, it's just going to be us. And if y'all spread the word, y'all spread the word. If the word don't get out, it don't get out, When people come to listen, the videos will be out there, the episodes will be out there for them to go entertain themselves with, if they, find this platform somewhere that they want to be. So thank you so much to everybody being here and taking the time out of your day, out of your life, to listen to me talk about little old me, because in this episode, I told you all, like we did last year. Last year I did the bingo board, and at the end of every month, I told you all what I accomplished and what I wanted to accomplish in the next month to come. I think with how I'm thinking and how I'm trying to move this year, I'm trying to be very intentional and be very forthcoming when it comes to planning my goals and planning, like trying to figure out what is my plan to obtain my goals. I didn't do any of that last year with my goals. It was honestly just, did I accomplish this? If not, why? Or if not, try to do it the next month. And then if I did accomplish it, great, move on. So this year I'm trying to be like very intentional with what I'm doing. So to have intention behind your goals is to set forth a plan to put in motion. So that way you can achieve what you say you want to achieve. So in this video, in this episode, we are going to talk about just some of the things that I said I wanted to do this year. And instead of going at it month by month, we're literally going to do this a quarter at a time. Now, with this quarterly planning, it is something that I want to be able to achieve something. Like every week I'm working towards that goal. Every day I'm working towards that goal. And then at the end of the quarter, is it something that I accomplished? Did my goal change? Or is this something that I'm no longer interested in? Right? So there's some things that are going to take longer than others once you get in the thick of the weeds of it. And then there's going to be other things that you're able to accomplish right off the bat. So don't take offense to any goals that you put on your 2026 list. And, maybe you say you want to accomplish it in quarter one and it ends up being accomplished in quarter 2 or 3. That's not bad whatsoever. You had a goal, and until you started implementing certain things into your daily life to achieve that goal, you didn't know or understand fully what that goal entailed to be able to achieve it. So yes, some goals may take longer than what you initially thought because it requires a little bit more work, a little bit more effort, right? A little bit more this and that. So some of the things that I said I wanted to do January, February, and March, because I did plan quarter one at the beginning of January. And then towards the end of March, which is when this episode will be coming out, I'll be planning my quarter two goals. And if you guys want that, maybe I'll share it on a different episode. But I just didn't do that before this video. I really wanted to just reflect. So one goal was come up with a birth plan. Another, research how to prepare to give unmedicated birth, establish boundaries for when baby comes home, establish routine to not rush and always look put together, research different wardrobe styles, start researching certification for life coaching, post 3 times a week, and record in advance for podcasting. So I can say right off the bat that I have been doing very well with recording in advance. I just told you all that in one day I recorded 3 episodes in one day, and that is also my plan today. And this, the day that I'm recording this, I hope to also record 2 to 3 more episodes than the one that I'm recording now, just to get myself ahead and caught up on the other weeks that I didn't record anything at all. But I am still ahead. Like I said, I am recording this somewhere in the middle of March or the beginning of the March, and this is not being posted until the end of March, early April. So I'm still doing well. I've set myself like on a pedestal, I set myself ahead for success when it comes to recording in advance, because I remember when we bought this house, when we were doing all the moving, I was literally recording in the car for you guys because I didn't have enough time to, record in my podcast area in my old place and in advance and post it. So it was a lot of last minute, or hey, this is being postponed to this week, or this is being postponed to this day, yada 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 yada. No, we're not doing that this year. So I've been doing great with recording in advance. Let me grab a pen so that way I can mark this off, because honestly, I took these goals and wrote them all down, and then I've just been working off of my planner of creating like weekly things and things to do on a daily basis. So I have not looked at my goals. I've just decided to go like weekly. What do I want to do? What do I want to do to reach these goals? And every week I've been just creating the same routine, so I didn't have to go back and try to remind myself of the goals that I wanted to achieve. So obviously this is just something that I wanted to implement and practice in the first quarter. That way going forward, it's something that is routine and not something that's new and still fragile. But yeah, so recording in advance for podcasts, I've been able to do that. Posting 3 times a week. At first, I thought that was going to be really, really hard, but I have been doing great with that also. Like I have also been recording in advance or a multitude of episodes in like one day, or like trying to figure out multiple ways I can use the same video content for different types of videos. That way it can stretch me a little longer. And I've been incorporating a little bit of different type of content that I haven't done before. And I'm going to turn on my fan. I really need to get a fan for in here. So sorry if you hear the fan in the back. I just really need it. But yeah, I started to record in like more often than I normally do, or not too much often, because like I said, I try to use the same video for different types of content. So that's been going great. Like I have like 12 videos I still have to edit and schedule to upload. But with me recording so much in advance, I'm able to edit in advance, schedule in advance, take a break if I need to, not record. Like last week, I don't think I recorded anything, but I still have those 12 videos to get me through 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks. So I post Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I try to incorporate, 2 weekdays and then at least a weekend day. That way I still have like a break in between each one, but also I give myself a break, like a couple day break, because at that point I have a Sunday, Monday break before I have to post again Tuesday. So then that's, some time, some breaks to edit if I wanted to, or record something else if I wanted to. And then on Sundays, if I'm trying to record 3 episodes a day, I'm not worried about recording for TikTok. So I've been doing great with that. I did start researching for my certification that I want to take for life coaching, but I haven't nailed down which certification I want to take. There's a lot out there. And so although I said start researching, I have accomplished that, which I'm going to cross that off my list for quarter one goals. But maybe in quarter two, my plan or my goal will be to take a certification course. So all of these, you don't have to set like, oh, I want to get this done. I want to get this done. Like, this has to be completed. You can start and lay the foundation, the groundwork, and then set the completion date for a later date, if that is what you deem, plausible to you and your goals. So that is what I'm going to do this quarter. I did research certifications. I did research a lot of different ways to go into life coaching. But for me, I think it is best that I get a certification so that nobody, anybody that's out there, they know that I'm certified. They're not trusting just any and nobody with no credentials. So I did start the research, but maybe in quarter two, when I do my goals for quarter two, April, May, June, I'll actually accomplish and have taken a certification course to obtain a certification for life coaching. Research different wardrobe styles. I did accomplish that, and I did find the wardrobe style that I love, and it is called mid-size fashion. I created a Pinterest board based on that, and I don't know. I feel like instead of looking for things that are like in style and you see everybody else doing, figure out the style and fashion that you like and that you can see yourself in, or sometimes you may not be even able to see yourself in it until you research different styles and you're like, okay, maybe I can see myself in that. Or maybe you buy one outfit that mimics the fashion or the wardrobe style that you think that you like, and if it fits your body type, if it fits your image, if it fits and you feel like you're best in that outfit, there you go. Continue to create wardrobe styles that reflect that wardrobe. So I did find that, and I'm very excited. So I have been trying to focus on, just making sure I have comfortable clothing for me and my pregnancy during this time. But I have researched a lot, and that is the wardrobe style that I like, and I've created a Pinterest board. That way I can continue to go to it and add to it as I find more outfit ideas that I like. So I crossed that off. Establishing a routine, not to rush and always look put together. Now this one I thought was going to be super difficult, which it could have been if I didn't have any routines whatsoever. But I already had hold on, is there somebody at the door? No, sorry. It just said a vehicle pass. But I already had like a skincare routine, a morning routine, all of these different routines that I just needed to clean up and maybe alter depending on the situation that I am in. So if I'm rushing in the morning, I'm not going to do my 10 to 12 step skincare routine that morning if I'm already rushing. If I'm rushing, then I'm just going to put on, some toner, maybe some serum. What else? Lotion, sunscreen, and then I'm out the door. Also buying wigs, because your girl cut all her hair off. So this is a headband wig, slapping on a headband wig, because before, I was wasting my money. I wouldn't say wasting my money on braids, but spending time getting braids and then not keeping them as long, and then also having to maintain it was just doing too much. So I feel like if I just continue to do the wigs, like I have this one, I have the curly one that y'all saw on the other the deep wave ones that you saw on the other episodes, and then I have a half wig, which I don't really use. I need to use that one soon. And then I have a synthetic wig that I actually got, which I'm very surprised on the quality of that one and how much I like it, but it's yaki textured, so it's very good. But, just incorporating different things that can make my routine a little easier. So especially when I'm getting up in the morning for work, it's really easy to just slap on a wig and go, and then not have to worry about a lace. So when I found out headband wigs, I don't know who created that idea, but I can kiss them in the mouth. Okay. So just creating certain routines and understanding which routine I will be implementing that day, depending on the situation and circumstances that I am in. If I have more time in the morning, maybe I do my 10 to 12 skincare skincare routine. Sorry, I can't talk. I literally just woke up. But my skincare routine, washing my face with 2 different cleansers, exfoliating, doing all of the steps. But if I'm, a little bit pushed on time, a little bit crushed on time, not doing a 10-step skincare routine. To me, S's. And then, if I want to do my makeup but I don't have time that day, eyebrows, lashes, lip liner, lip gloss, out. If I have more time and I want to do makeup and gone. So there's different routines for different situations that I'm in, and trying not to rush is also a big thing, because I feel like when you rush, you either don't look put together, you forget something, or something goes in disarray. And then, I did have a goal of always wanting to always look put together, and this is definitely helping that. So I am going to cross that off, which I already have crossed off. Now, establish boundaries for when baby comes. This is something that I'm still trying to implement and come up with. So there's a lot of discussing that my husband and I will have to do as far as when baby comes home, because I was very specific on, that particular wording for when baby comes home. Because when she comes home, everybody and their mama, aunties, and grannies is gonna want to come over to see her. But what is going to be best for me as a new time mom, and my husband as a new time dad, and our baby girl as our first child, our dogs as how are they gonna be overstimulated? How are their nervous system, to her being here and maybe crying? I don't know how she's gonna be. She may cry a lot, she may not cry a lot, but regardless of the fact, it is a new family member to our family, and we have to figure out what is best for us before we start allowing other people in and just doing anything willy-nilly. But also with those boundaries, which we have talked about this on and off. I just want something in writing so that I can clearly express my thoughts onto paper, and that way I don't backtrack or forget anything when I do set these boundaries with everybody. It's just, wait, what was I saying? Pregnancy brain. But yeah, when she comes home, we have talked about this on and off. I just need to have something on paper. But yeah, no kissing the baby. When you come, it has to be X amount of people for this amount of time during the day. There will not be I'm going over to Sierra's and we stay for 3 hours. Then no. Visiting time, let me say that, or slots may be between, say I do 11:30 in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but if you come, you only stay for 30 minutes. No passing the baby around, X amount of people in my house at one time. There are a lot of people that do a lot of things outside of, just wherever they are, outside of their homes. I don't want you bringing germs from other places into my home and being here for an extended amount. No, lights on, everything down, hand sanitizer, face mask. That's going to be one of the biggest things I'm going to have on my thing, is you're going to have a face mask on if you come to my house, because I'm not playing about the no kissing my baby. I've seen a toddler, a baby, go blind because somebody has some type of illness and they kissed somebody's newborn baby, which I don't know why somebody would want to kiss somebody's newborn baby, but it was their family member. They kissed the newborn baby, and one of their eyes, they went completely blind, could not see, could not fix it. So yeah, we're not doing that. No passing the baby around. That's why there's going to be X amount of people in my house at one time, because babies can get overstimulated being passed around too many times. And then I'm like, you got to get kicked out. And then, when it's time to go to bed or when she gets sleepy, you're not going to be here when she's just asleep. And then the main thing is making sure I wait long enough until I feel ready to have guests, because honestly, I don't know how I'm going to be after birth. And to be 100% honest, I am getting nervous as the closer I get. I'm getting very excited but nervous, because obviously I have to give birth. But I'm getting very nervous as we get close to it. But I don't know how I'm going to be after birth, because this is my first birth experience. So all of these things are new. And at the end of the day, if I place a boundary, my boundaries, as long as it's on my standards and on my timetable and my, whatever, can change at any point in time. It's not going to change based off somebody else and how they're feeling. It's going to change based on me and how I'm feeling. So if I say I don't want anybody visiting for 2 weeks, it's going to be 2 weeks. But if I deem it necessary that it be longer than 2 weeks, it's going to be longer than 2 weeks. What I always say is, one, like I was telling my husband, like, I think I was like, I don't know. I don't want to say I was overreacting, but I feel like I was having a lot of anxiety, I will say, one night. It was keeping me up at night. And so my husband and I was talking about it. And at the end of the day, I just didn't learn, like, y'all know this. I tell you guys all the time. When I grew up, it was always, kids don't have an opinion. You do what you're told, not what you think. Yada, 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 yada. Love my parents, but that's how they raised us. So I feel like there wasn't a lot of room to communicate how one is feeling, or how someone, wants to establish boundaries and implement it. So as I'm getting older, I'm having to unlearn a lot of things. And with my child, there are a lot of things I have to unlearn that will affect other people, i.e. boundaries. A lot of people, a lot of the time, when they tick me off in my family or whatever, I just be quiet and I move on. And you may or may not see me, but with this, my child is involved, and you're going to want to see my child. So my boundaries are there to not only protect her, but me as well, me and my sanity, because y'all are not going to stress me out. So yeah, I am going to leave that unchecked just until I create that list. But it will be checked and done by the time this video comes out, because like I said, I am doing this in the middle of March. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to cross it off just because I haven't written it out yet, but that's literally the next thing I have to do. And then research how to prepare for unmedicated birth. I really can't talk. The biggest thing with unmedicated birth is training your mind and your body to give birth unmedicated. Now, if you get to the doctor, and you decide, or if you get to the labor room and you decide, okay, screw this, never mind, I need the epidural, or they try to induce your labor with Pitocin. I've heard Pitocin contractions hurt a lot. So that's why I want to do, unmedicated with an epidural. Depending on how long you've been laboring before you get the epidural, could affect the birthing positions. And for me, my people know that I really want to birth not on my back. Anything but on my back. So in a squatting position, using the squatting bar, hands and knees, like any one of those, that's the way I want to give birth. And I feel like the best way to do that is as long as I'm unmedicated and not taking an epidural, I don't have to be on my back, and I won't be, as confined to either back laying or side laying or something like that. So yeah, there's been a lot of research I've done. We have gone to 3 out of 4 birthing classes at the hospital that's been offered for free. So that's amazing. I love that that's an option. So I am going to cross that off. And then also with just exercising and opening out my hips. Or my pelvic floor, like exercising my pelvic floor and opening my hips. That is going to deal with a lot of, the pressure and everything with her coming out, as long as I am okay to give a vaginal birth, and nothing happens to where I have to give a C-section. Lord have mercy. I do not want to give a C-section. That thing is scary to me. Although I won't feel anything, just seeing the diagram and how it happens during one of those classes, I was like, I do not want that to be me. But if it has to be me due to medical reasons or health concerns of me and the baby, or the baby, I'll have to do it. But my plan is to not have to have a C-section. So, I've been doing my exercises. I did take a break because my hips are hurting. But, just making sure I exercise that daily or weekly, at least one time, or just exercising in general will help me prepare my body for unmedicated birth. So, also in the mind, it's going to hurt, honey. It is going to be a mind race. It's not going to be, just wing it and go. So definitely preparing my mind as well as my body. So I am going to check that off because I've been doing great with that. And then come up with my birth plan. So I did do like 3 different birth preferences is what I call it. I just have to put it in like a 1-page Word document. So I did finish that out. And with me being so nervous, I am kind of like changing up some of the things I initially had on there, i.e. how many people I want in the room with me during my child labor or during, my birthing labor and all of that. So I like have people who I want to be present. Right now, I did reduce it down to just my husband and my doula. But at first I had it as my doula, my husband, my mom, and my twin sister. I don't know if my twin sister will make it down here in time by the time I'm ready to give birth. So I don't know. I'm going to leave her on there, but also like just as I'm thinking about it, like I want minimum staff members in the room. So I also just want limited amount of people in the room, period. So I think like the less people, the easier my mind will be, or the more ease my mind will be at. I don't know. But as I'm getting closer, I am getting more nervous. It's starting to make me think of things differently and change up some of my plans. But my plans can forever change. I could have this right now and then change my mind when I get there. I could have, the 4 people I want in the room, and then when I get there, I only want, the 2. So I know she's going to listen to this, but I love you so much, girl. None of this is going to be done. None of this is done out of hate. It's honestly just to keep me comfortable, and prepared and not overthinking and having a lot of anxiety. And the less people in there would cause me to have less anxiety. But, atmosphere preferences, birthing positions, delivery options, fetal monitoring, pain management, pain medicine, delivery preferences, things I want to happen immediately after delivery, postpartum care, my important health information, and then visitation during my hospital stay. That's another big one that I was kind of like iffy about, because as far as me being in the hospital, a lot of my family live in Columbia, i.e. that's kind of why we moved down here. But I told my husband maybe I'm kind of regretting it a little bit. I don't know. But with that being said, the visitation. The nurses in one of the classes said that if everything is all well, we should be in and out of the hospital after delivery within 24 hours. After delivery, within 24 hours or at 24 hours, we should be going home. Unless they think they need to stay, unless they think we need to stay to watch my vitals or the baby's vitals or anything like that. That is the only reason why we would stay 48 hours. So as far as that being the, window span of how long I would be in the hospital, I don't want a lot of people coming to see me right after I give birth. That's my most vulnerable time. I just pushed the baby out of my vajayjay. And like I said, I don't know how long or where my mental will be after giving birth. Just the healing process and trying to understand who I am after birth, my mental is going to change. So I just don't want a lot of noise, and I don't want a lot of people, and I don't want a lot of people holding my baby within the first 24 hours of her life. So visitation will honestly just be the people that live at my parents' house and the people that came out of my mom. So my twin sister, my brother, my sister, and then my mom herself and my dad. So those are the only people I want coming to see me in the hospital. I love my grandparents, I love my aunties, I love my uncle, but it's just I can't, and I'm not gonna be able to do it. So they will be on that 2-week time, that 2-week clock of until I say yes, I'm allowing visitors. And then at that point, there's going to be a window of when you can come, how long you can stay, and how many people can come with you. So we're going to be very big on that. So I will cross that off. But all of that stuff, visitation and all of that, will be established in my boundaries when the baby comes home, when I write that out. So like I said, I'm not going to cross it off right now, but I do plan on having that done before the end of this week, actually, because I literally just finalized my birth plan. I just need to type it out. But I'm going to come up with visitation and stuff like that for after we get home. And then once that is all typed out, I'm going to type both of the, or written up, I'm going to type both of them out, have them printed, and disperse them. And that is definitely going to go towards, the first one of the personal, development and motherhood goals was to not only prepare for motherhood, but establish clear boundaries and communicate them. So obviously, you guys, those are, the things that I accomplished in quarter one. I'm very proud of myself. I'm able to say that I'm going to be able to cross off all of these things on this list. It's just that last one of establishing the boundaries when the baby comes home. But like I said, it should be done before this episode airs. But you guys know I had 4 different sections of goals that I wanted to accomplish this year. And just to say that I was able to do everything that I wrote in the things that I want to do to help me reach those goals in quarter one is just crazy. So like I said, personal development and motherhood, I had established clear boundaries and communicate them, prepare for motherhood, accept help from others. For my financial/lifestyle, I wanted to pay off my debt consolidation loan, save $2,000, keep my cars between 10 and 15% of utilization, always look put together, figure out my routine wardrobe, which I was able to cross those last 3 off because, as you heard in this episode, I was able to do the last 3. Create a routine to always look put together, create other routines, and then research my wardrobe style. And then my third category was career and business. Create a podcast, LLC. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. Life coaching certifications, and then my plan for my 9 to 5, which I'm still trying to figure that out. But obviously these were not my main focus in Q1. And then content creation, consistency, grow audience, promote life coaching business when ready, branding for life coaching. So obviously once I'm able to get back there with my chairs and stuff, I'll hopefully be able to advertise more, which will then lead to the growing of my audience. But I have established consistency, and I established a routine to keep me consistent. So all of these things go hand in hand. But these are just some of the things that these are all of the things that I want to accomplish. But the things that I just went through step by step that were very specific with you all in Q1 as my goals helped me accomplish or get closer to accomplishing those overall goals. So obviously, as I plan for April, May, and June, I got to go through what I want to accomplish. Well, my Q2 goals, my weekly non-negotiables of what I need to do every week, my daily top 3s. And then I haven't been doing my weekly reviews. I just feel like whenever I do my planner, I'm looking at, I'm going day by day, looking at what I did accomplish and what I didn't, and figure out if I, was an overachiever. Did I have so much energy that I just overachieved this week or put too much on this day? And, I honestly had too much maybe on my plate. But I'm able to kind of gauge what I'm able to do, especially with the new work system that we have with the office and stuff like that. And then obviously it's going to change a little bit when my baby girl gets here in May or end of April. But yeah, you guys, that was everything I wanted to talk about in this episode. So, just Q1 goals of quarterly planning, review on my quarterly planning for Q1. And yeah, so I'm going to leave you all with that. Let me know if you guys like this type of setup where I do, since I'm doing quarterly planning, if you guys like the quarterly review as well, being at the end of the 3rd month. Or the third month in that quarter. Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna leave you all with that. I hope you guys are still remembering your goals and setting forth plans to accomplish those goals, because if you're just saying that you want to accomplish something, actions speak louder than words. If you're speaking louder than you're doing, you don't mean what you say. Okay, so we have to put some type of effort to be able to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish, and we don't need to be putting goals down that we're going to accomplish anyway. I feel like that gives you a false sense of accomplishment, and maybe a false sense of motivation or determination, because if you were going to do it anyway, whether it was a goal or not, you're not really going out of your way to make sure you are, doing everything in your power to accomplish the goal that you set for yourself. So if it's being done anyway, it's not really a goal. It's something that you already had to do. So make sure your goals challenge you. Make sure your goals push you farther than where you are currently, because if it's not going to push you, it's not benefiting you in any way. I feel like your goals are meant to push you past your limit of what you thought maybe were your limit and show you that you are bigger than what you previously had implanted in your mind of yourself. Okay, so I love you all. I will see you in next week's episode, and yeah, can't wait to figure out what we are doing in Q2 and become a mommy of 3. I say 3 because obviously the 2 dogs that I have, and then Miss Kalia, my firstborn baby girl. But I love you all, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection, it's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.